Hey, Ukraine more than holding its own in this fight. But have you noticed is it leaving the headlines a little bit? Are Americans over this at this point? Look, it's still hugely, hugely important. For more on what's going on and the domestic political component that we have to talk about, Fred Fleitz, senior fellow at the America First Policy Institute, veteran of the Trump administration. Fred, welcome back. Fred, overall, give us a snapshot. What is the latest? Can Ukraine still win? Is that even an appropriate question anymore?
Greg, it's good to be here. We're just seeing a remarkable development here. Just a few weeks ago, Zelensky was talking about maybe a peace agreement in which they would resolve territorial issues later. Now he doesn't want to talk about territorial issues. Russia could conceivably be interested in a cessation of hostilities and a ceasefire sometime. I don't know that they would be, but if they asked for that, unbelievably, the Ukrainians would probably say no. They would want to keep fighting, to take back territory. No one could have conceived of this a few weeks ago. And the fact that they sank Russia's flagship in the Black Sea, which apparently has made Putin so angry he's thinking of intensifying the fighting. I think we're at a dangerous stage now where I think Putin may really, really be cornered. That's why people were saying that, well, maybe he would consider using chemical weapons. I don't think he would try to use tactical nukes, but I think if he was really, really cornered, Putin might try something desperate.
So there's a fellow named Scott Shapiro, who I understand had some position deep within the Trump administration. He wrote in the Wall Street Journal, some in the America First movement mistake Putin for a strong nationalist leader like Donald Trump. And second graph here, many leading America Firsters are parroting the Kremlin's narrative, suggests the movement has taken a dangerous turn. And one more, some America Firsters sound like, have made comments that sound like Russia propaganda because they mistake him for a Russian Donald Trump, a strong nationalist leader who fights woke ideas. I have my own thoughts on this. I understand you do as well.
I don't know who Jeff Shapiro is. I've never heard of him. He is a fool. I represent the America First movement. I'm with General Keith Kellogg on television every day talking about how America First is stand with Ukraine. They're absolutely against Putin. We don't see any similarity between Putin and Trump. We don't admire Putin. There may be some people who run around casually using the term America First. The Shapiro guy didn't bother to talk to us. He didn't mention my organization. We're the ones who are speaking out on behalf of the America First movement, which wants a strong America, which wants to stand with our allies, but also wants to keep our country out of unnecessary wars. We want to help Ukraine, but we want to keep American troops the hell out of Ukraine.
Well, I want everything you just summarized. I have from time to time pointed out, look, I live in America. I want Ukraine to win. I know Zelensky, not at all. I have heard before that, Ukraine had issues of corruption. Heck, we all heard about them during the phony impeachment. Isn't it okay from time to time to make observations that, Ukraine is not perfect? I feel like Shapiro has taken anybody who has remotely raised the scintilla of, well, what's really happening, what's going on here, that somehow that's you're spewing Vladimir Putin talking points.
Shapiro is a weasel who doesn't know what he's talking about, who wants to get on MSNBC to take cheap shots against Republicans. We've seen this before. Look at Nicole Wallace. There's lots of these people. They claim they were with President Trump. They supported Trump, but they want to get on CNN or MSNBC. This is absolute nonsense. Kellogg and I have spoken out very definitively about all the awful things Putin said about Ukraine, that they're Nazis, that they were committing war crimes against Russians. This is absolute rubbish. We've spoken out against it, and Shapiro had no business saying things like this without speaking to the people who represent the America First movement.
Well, I'm glad you're here. We're on the same side. This guy Shapiro, I like it. He's a weasel. We don't want anything to do with him.
Don't have him on your show.
Don't. All right. Consider it done, Fred. Seriously, I saw his piece, too. Very weak, and not very specific either. Fred Fleitz, senior fellow at the America First Policy Institute. We appreciate it, sir, so much, and we'll be right back.